Hey, this is Mark the Meerkat with the Trade of the Day here at Grok Trade in the Grok Day Trading Chat Room. Hey, before we get into today's trade, let me show you what was happening this morning. These markets are highly volatile, and let me show you here what my results were for the first 10 trades this morning here. We started out here with, minus 0.9, minus 0.4, minus 0.2, and then look, a half a percent plus. We weren't getting anything over 1% either way. Now I have a 1% attached stop here, but this was really depressing. And we're minus 2% after 10 trades and coming up on the 11 o'clock hour on the market. So I was just about ready to just call it a day, saying, hey, today wasn't my day. But instead, then, stuck it out again. I'm trading my trading rules. I'm not doing anything outrageous. I just wasn't making any money. What was happening was the stocks would break out, go up like 2%, and then drop 4% in the next 30 to 90 seconds. It's just almost impossible to trade when you're just using a 1% stop. But then things started to change. Things started to run a little bit more. So I'm going to show you a trade on CAN, and here it was setting up here. Now this is just about 11 o'clock. It was coming down here, and it was low basing here. Low basing. So I set a trade up underneath there to go short, and I'm ready to go short. Let's see what happened next there, and bam, there it goes. I dropped short, and I am now short here at $20.16. Now I have an automatic 1% attached stop that exactly 1% behind there would be right here at around the 37. 2037 is my 1% stop, activated as soon as it dropped down there, and I got it filled. And so let's see what happened. Oh, bam! Look at that. Drop, 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 drop here. Now let's pull this up a little bit here. Now this is the closing line right here, and it tagged the closing line. So I had a half order set up, ready to cover half, and then sure enough here, it popped back up, and then so I went ahead and I took out half here at 1969 for 2.3% on that first half. And then, of course, as soon as it popped up, it dropped down below that closing line again. Again, why did I stall there? The closing line is one of the strongest lines of support and resistance on the market. It's the memory of where it closed the day before, whether it's a broad market index or if it's an individual stock. Strong memory there. But it blew down below that, and look at the volume. Boom! Look at that volume take off here. So let's continue. I'm going to bring in my stop now. I have to take off half of the shares, and I'm going to put it up here just above this 1990. And now I'm in the money. I have 2%, over 2% in the first half, and I've got an in the money stop on the second. Oh, look at that. Bam! Look at that. And look at this now. Now it's starting to low base down here. So I'm bringing my stop down here a little bit further on my second half of my trade, keeping it above this 8 EMA. And it's just fell down here to below 19. Now it's just falling around 19 even dollar amount here. See that right there? And then decided, oh, it's going to drop. Is it going to drop again? And bam, oh, it did. And look at the volume coming in as it drops down here from that low base, and it continuing to fall here. Now look at that, 17. It just broke through this pivot line here. Their intraday lines there, the pivot line, and the 1750 now acting as support here, 1750. So I brought my stop down here now to just above $18, even though it's over 2% away down here. I've got the shield of this pivot line, a 18 even dollar amount, and it's basing here at 1750. And then what happened? Bam, bam, bam. It dropped down here to 1680. I brought my stop down here just above that 1750 because why? That was support, support, support. It dropped. Could now be resistance. So I put my stop just above that area. And boom, look at that. Look at that. Get a little doji there. Blew right up there. Stopped me out at 1754 was my fill for 13% on the second half. Hoo-ah! So let's take a look at this whole trade here. We had a low base here. When it went short, as soon as it broke the low base, or it could even be considered a descending triangle there, and it dropped, took out half when it stalled, according to my rules, which was at the closing line. It didn't stay there long, but then it did a little base here just at 19 area, and then dropped again to 1750 was basing. When it dropped again, I pulled my stop in, and when it broke back above that 1750, I was out for a total trade of 7.7% in 20 minutes. Hoo-ah! Love it when that happens, don't you? Now, again, this pulled me out of being at minus 2% on the day. Plus, I had another trade on SOS and we end up finishing the day very, very strong. So let's take a look at those results from today. We had again, those are the trades, and then look at this right here on trade number 14 is where I got the 7.7, the trade I just showed you, and then right after that, or at the same time, SOS, I got short on that one, got a quick 4.2%. It ended up dropping 12% and getting halted in the 20 minutes I was in the CAN trade. So that's the way it is. So for the day, we were 8 out of 15 for only 53% success rate, which is below our 60. But I followed my trading rules all day long. I might have had 15 trades, but all 15 of them were successful. They just weren't all profitable. But look at this. Because of those last few trades, my average income trade was $193 with the $10,000 lot size. And then we've got, but I only averaged $51 expense trade, 52 bucks. So my actual reward risk ratio was 3.7 to 1. That's unreasonably, especially for having such a bad day early on. Again, slow and steady and patience wins a race in these volatile markets. And end up with 11.8% net for the day. Hooah! Our target is only 5%. Our stretch goal is 10. We ended up, after being down 2%, we ended up over 11% for the day. Happy with the way that turned out. But more importantly, I traded my rules and traded very patiently and confidently. So this is Mark the Meerkat. If you want to learn to trade the Grok trade way, why don't you join our mentoring program? Now, this is a long-term program. This is just not a dumping of information on you. But our program, it's two-part. First part is that you go to groktrade.com, and you can read about it there. And so, and then you go up here to Trading Mentor right there. Now, so there's two parts to the program. Number one, we have 3 days of intensive training to give you the knowledge that you need, and we begin the application of that knowledge. And you can read all about it here on the groktrade.com to the Trading Mentor page. Part two is that we are there to help you apply all that new knowledge to your trading, not just for a day, not just for a week, but from that point forward. And you can take the training as many times as you want, but more importantly, you get coaching, ongoing coaching and ongoing mentoring with us from that point forward, so you can apply all this knowledge with you. So again, you can read about our program here, but what I'd like you to do is to fill this out. Schedule a discovery call. Now, it's not a sales call, it's a discovery call, to just find out what our mentoring program is about and what it might be able to do for you or not. And so again, just fill in your information there, have that call with John, and let him just walk through with you and see where your trading is and how we might help you. Again, there's tons of things to read about here, and as you work your way down here. There's even a little quiz here you can take to see if you really qualify as a possible candidate for a mentoring program. So this is Mark. Oh, by the way, we do have a 3-day intensive training session coming up this weekend, February 20th through 22nd. That's Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And we have another one scheduled for next month, if you're not available this weekend, on March 20th, 21st, and 22nd as well. So that's it. You can get signed up with John. Mark the Meerkat here. Hey, as Dr. Mike says in our trading room, by the way, Dr. Mike just retired. Congratulations to him. He says, hey, errors that violate your trading rules and make it impossible to evaluate your trading system. That's right. Stick with the rules, and then if over time the rules don't work, change the rules. Don't change them on the fly. Mark the Meerkat, trade well, and may your winners run.